Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. I am here today with a new series, an obsession that I cannot get out of my head because of the psychology and the dynamics of this family. I watched them a few years ago when they very first came out, and then it took them a while to come out again, and I kind of forgot about them. But it's back, and I am obsessed, and I have roped my two adult children who live in the home here, Mallow and Lizard.
Hi. Hello.
They're so excited about helping me with this new project. But already I can tell that
You might want to tell them what the actual show
I
is.
am. Calm down.
Rope them in.
I'm very excited that they have decided to get invested a little bit with me in this because I have to debate it with someone. And these are my peeps, my best pals. So we are going to talk about Welcome to Plathville. Okay.
Sister Wives of Plathville.
Okay, yes. But Sister Wives, I've been watching for a decade.
Basically,
okay?
Utah to Florida or Georgia.
Something like that. And it is not the same thing. I don't think they're Mormons. It's just a different way of living. So, okay. The premise of Welcome to Plathville is a family called Plath and the husband and wife, Barry and Kim, and their 9 children, and how they were free-range children. Instead of free-range chickens, they had a 55-acre farm, and they were just like, be free, children.
There's also no TV, and they don't know who LeBron James is, which is really weird.
But who cares? I mean, let's be real. Pop culture, even though it is everything in today's world,
Again,
historically, I mean, is not making the world a better place.
no, but it's everywhere in this world.
You're right. However, and this is going to be a difference in that I know we're going to disagree with. As a parent, though, unless you're abusing your children, which these kids are happy, healthy. I mean,
That's because they're homeschooled. That's because they're homeschooled, sheltered.
but they're intelligent, they're well spoken, they're creative, they're athletic, and I mean,
the children of the corn.
you're only saying that because of their white hair, and that's just genetics.
And they're awful.
It's genetics. Anyway, so I as long as you're not abusing your children, and they're obviously not, keeping your children out of the mainstream is every parent's right and religious right.
But here's the thing, though. They're not like in some kind of like community where they will stay there forever. And as shown, what me and Mallow saw with Ethan, we got married. He's freaking weird. If these children won't stay on the farm forever. They will have to go out. Then, like, one of the children didn't go to college because she doesn't need it. She got a full ride scholarship for music, and her mom said, "Oh, you don't need college."
No, what she said
that she doesn't need college. What could she learn in a classroom that you can't learn by running around on a farm?
No, I don't know if she said running around on a farm.
But
it's because she was playing music for the church, I think doing it professionally. So she could either go to college and do that or go on with her career.
Or she get married and move to Ohio away from her family. And no one knows if she...
okay, that's a lot of speculation, and I know that's where you come from.
You said you wanted to debate.
No, and I get that. I know, and I get that, but this is all speculation. You have to say that so that we don't get sued.
You have to admit that if these children, when they actually go out in the world, they are going to get so much what the frick is wrong with you from if they suddenly had to go to public school. If something happened and they absolutely had to go to public school, they would get bullied. They would be ostracized. They would absolutely get wrecked. Like, how do you know where LeBron James is? What's
okay? And
you don't know Cinderella?
Is that the parents' fault, or is that society's fault for raising asshole children?
No, that's parents' fault for
raising bullies and allowing their children to bully.
Everyone.
Then you guys are always blaming the bullies on everything. If the bullies are bullying, is it the bullied kid's fault or the bully's fault?
It's the parents' fault for like they show their children so much that they don't know what anything is.
So you're saying that the Amish are just as bad?
No, because they stay in the community.
Maybe not. maybe not. They have a chance to leave.
Again,
They go out in the world to find this out, and then they can choose to come back or leave or stay gone. And that is kind of what this is. They give them that
they
faith
can't
that
marry each other, and even people in the church, the same church, are obviously they have different. They might be pub school, homeschool. They don't actually interact with much of the outside world at all. It seems like the older kids can go to is their brother's house. It seems like the only place they can go. Okay, but at the end, we did start seeing, the more information about Kim and her upbringing and everything like that, we started to understand about that stuff.
see, and that's why I say I have to know the why. Why did you choose this life? What brought you to it? That kind of thing.
And
Okay, I'm gonna have a little disclaimer here. I have watched all the way to the current season. I know a lot more information
we
than
are
they
just,
do,
this is episode 1 though
and I am doing my very best to stay focused only on what I know about everyone in episode 1, because what happens later is a whole lot of crazy. But I don't see, like, okay, we've never had a lot of money, and the fact that he said they only shopped at thrift stores and consignment shops, I was like, I kind of relate to that.
That's not the problem.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But he's saying that, why, we never went to stores, so I don't know about stuff. Well, they have different kind of fashions.
I wonder why they didn't have enough money with 9 kids.
Well, the little thing about that, that's also
That's-
not the issue with this.
You have an issue with having children in general. You don't want children. You don't.
You think a bunch of
It's not. I have an issue with pregnancy. I don't have an issue with having kids.
Well, I want to talk about like the episode where like some parents are very weird, and then like, okay, because Kim said that she had an alcoholic mom, and the mom was married to a man who abused
I had a boyfriend.
a boyfriend abused her a lot, and I'm trying to, like, again, that makes sense about why she's about alcohol and everything. But even you, who had again our mom's mom, she's not our grandma. We don't call her grandma.
She was my
she's an alcoholic.
incubator.
She's an alcoholic, and but mom,
An abusive alcoholic.
mom didn't allow alcohol in the house or bring around us when we were children, which is fine. Then even she admitted, as we were teenagers, that she realized we had a weird stance on alcohol.
Yeah, like, I thought by not allowing alcohol around my children, I was doing better than my parents did.
Yeah.
And I realized when it was like New Year's Eve or something, and I was like, we always get a little something alcoholic for New Year's to toast.
Yeah.
And then we'd get you guys a little non-alcoholic, something similar, so that you guys could toast with
Sparkling
something bubbly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, oh, you guys are getting drunk. And I was like, it's like a half a glass of whatever. And I'm like, no one's getting drunk. And the way you just kept going on and on about it and all that. And I was like, I have given my children an unhealthy relationship to alcohol. This is the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want you to be afraid of it and be like, oh my God, anybody who drinks, you're an alcoholic. But I also don't want you to think that getting drunk and doing that way around
You need
my
you
kids
need to
is
show
okay.
a good medium for it.
Exactly.
I think so.
And
But that's not all on the internet. On Reddit, we get to hear stories about shelter kids finally getting out, and how, like, like people on the opposite side, like their roommate was a shelter kid, and how they go 0 to 100 because they finally had that freedom. They finally had that ability to not be told yes, no, 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 and they go again. They go full out.
what did you think about the modesty issue with the dresses when they were young?
We feel bad for Lydia. Lydia is so.
Wait, I'm talking about the clothing right now.
But again, like, we notice the young kids are able to wear pants and stuff, so I feel like they give them that choice, but they also
They were wearing dresses with either shorts or capris underneath it.
No, the young kids were like in like black pants and stuff and everything. I don't know if they're just pajamas or something, but they do have like pants.
But I'm almost positive when the little girls are
Maybe-
around, they're wearing pants underneath dresses or skirts. I could be wrong in that scene. I'm not sure exactly which one you're referring
I
to.
think when they're littler, they get more of a choice, but as they get older, becoming more women, they are again pushed toward wearing modest dresses.
No, okay, again, you only know what you know from episode 1, and so I can get where that would kind of be an opinion.
But the thing we notice that Lydia is very parentified. She's doing a lot the chores, she's doing the cooking, and the only time I ever see the mom do anything, again, we could be wrong. We only saw episode 1 where Lydia was doing all this work, like in the housework and stuff. But the mom was only around for like the education. We're wondering like where she was. Did she help her with the chores? Did she help her with the cooking? Where is she?
What do you think about Mariah doing jack shit?
Again, Lydia feels like she has to take on a bunch more because again, like she's the only one. She looks like it's like
But what do you think about her not helping her sister out?
I
Her
we,
little sister.
it's crappy. But we kind of again like
She's a teenager.
she's a teenager. Teenagers are kind of crappy.
So if anytime that Mariah does anything ignorant, it's okay because she's a teenager. But parents should be perfect.
Yeah, because she's a child.
Yeah.
She's gonna make. Hey,
Children are allowed to make mistakes. As soon as you become a parent, you know.
I mean, I guess like,
Wow. I hope both of you have children. I want to see that.
the whole point is
The
that
perfection.
That's why I'm not having children.
the difference between a parent making a mistake and a child making a mistake is that the parent's an adult. I'm not saying adults can't make mistakes. They obviously will. They obviously can. But the fact is, like, when the child makes a mistake, they're a child. They're a minor. And like I don't know why, but like again, like I feel for Lydia because I was the younger sibling who was cooking all the time. I took care of all the cooking.
There's
I
a
took care of
difference.
the housework.
There's a difference though. I was not able to.
Yeah.
And I did
That's why I'm not-
everything
That's
were
for everyone up till
you
that
had
point.
physical conditions that prevented you from
Where-
being able to do
but-
it. And if
But it
you
makes me
could-
bad when she's like, "Oh yeah, I know what it's like to be Cinderella," you know.
The whole difference, like, and where's the mom? And again, it's not Mariah's. It's Mariah's fault, but why aren't the parents punishing her for this? Again,
Okay, we went through the exact same thing. We did punish the older sibling who didn't want to do anything, and what happened?
I left, I got trauma, and then I came back.
So because people that
so
we warned you about made you basically sell out everything you are and turned you against your family, saying that we were abusive and manipulative
and
when they were manipulating you, and we put you back together even though we begged you not to leave because I saw it coming, but I had no choice but to allow my child to make that mistake and watch it happen.
Because I was an adult by then. You couldn't.
You
have
were
a
barely
choice.
18 years old. And let me tell you something.
And that's what's going to happen to a lot of the sheltered kids, though. They're going to meet people when they leave that are going to be crappy and convince them, tell them, like, their parents are like, they're crappy people. Even if they did their best and everything, they thought it was the best thing for them, and they're going to go down the wrong path. Again, because once they leave the house, once they turn 18,
Once
and
they
they're
get a semblance of freedom, they're gonna go buck wild with it.
they're going to
But you weren't right. I mean, we sheltered you, yes. Only the fact that we didn't allow you to get cell phones when you were very young teenagers because I knew of all the stuff in the news about how bullying happened. And with your issues with bullying, and I'm maybe you're looking back going, maybe that was a good thing.
But also, there was like unintentional sheltering where we couldn't really do a lot as teenagers. And is that with Mallow or Mama and Pops? They did their absolute best. Mom was also she's disabled, still disabled, so she couldn't really do much, like taking us out and everything. And Pops was again working. He wanted to
Not
work.
to mention, Pops has he's very protective
You
of
can
Mama.
call him dad.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Dad is very protective. So anytime we want to do something that
Would leave Mom alone. We were told, "What about your mom? What if she needs help around here?"
And while mom was going, please go, get out of the house.
But
I need some peace.
But again,
you know?
when one's like the more vocal one and the one who would actually take us places, we didn't really get to go to we had basically anything that was within like less than 24-hour notice, we couldn't go. If it wasn't something that we were in a club or school for, we couldn't go.
And then it was like,
And so
And that's not necessarily true because you guys went to your friends' houses a lot.
I have friends.
we didn't really have.
That wasn't on me and your dad though.
It's also like we couldn't go places, and
But like if it was something important to you, we made it happen.
Yeah, but again, like with all the things that Dad was saying, we kind of stopped asking about a lot of things. We had to pre-plan events. Would this get
I
us?
think the most interaction we had was when PJ came around the once a month.
When the sperm donor came around once a month.
Like, what is this worth the lecture for, and having to convince Dad that this is more important than mine for just 3 hours?
See, and I hate that, but Like, I didn't know it was happening because you little pricks never told me anything
We
back
were.
then.
You don't call us little pricks. That's so.
Like, that's how it feels to me. It was like everybody, all this stuff was happening.
We were children. We heard what our parents were saying, and oh my god, we listened.
Only to the negative stuff. What happened to all the positive things?
We're not saying everything was bad. No, we're just saying this is why we
It's not
did.
a diss at you. It's just like this is what happened.
And that's why whenever I hit college and I had all this, newfound freedom with
She had
friends with money.
she had a car. She had money. She was able to go without someone having to ask.
Yeah, I know money was an issue, but like okay, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be taken a bad way. We didn't have the ability to give you the things you wanted, but you had all the things you needed and some things you wanted, maybe not like very expensive things. And at any point, you guys, and you did, Mallow, get a job and buy your own shit.
Yeah.
And you did. And I know you were more focused on school and you had the mental health issues, obviously. And so,
Physical issues.
and now physical issues. So, I mean, that's been a whole journey for you.
And before anyone starts saying this is not as mom and pops. Again, like we did not have much money.
And they are my favorite pricks. I made them and I love them, adore them.
We went through again like something like if mom could have worked, she would have been working. She would have been working. We would have.
She hated being unable to do the things she wanted to do or needed to do.
It's just stuff
the
that
house.
and this is just stuff that happened. Yeah, we are on good terms with each other. We love our parents unconditionally. They love us unconditionally. It's just it happened.
I mean,
And this is how
life did not go exactly the way I had hoped. Okay,
Life is not in what we all thought it was.
So we've all gone through ups and downs. We've all managed to get through it together, and that is all that matters to me.
That's why I'm kind of again as we started learning with Barry the father, we're talking about how he dealt with alcohol and stuff in school and all the stuff he didn't want to subject his children to. I'm like, he probably whatever he saw in school was enough for him to say, I would not wish this upon my children.
So you guys didn't go to the drunken teenage parties, and so you don't know, or even drunken college parties. Well, maybe you did, Mallow. But like, it's
and again, like Kim, the mom, also went through a very crappy time. She did not want her children to go through that. So again,
they went the extremist route.
Yeah, they were
She deserves more therapy than having
and when I
isolated her
was
children
young,
from the world.
I did the same thing because I didn't have the knowledge to do a happy medium. I just was like, this was what I did, and I want my kids to have a 180. And so
the only thing you thought was right. You didn't bring alcohol in the house. You were very protective. You wanted us to have a happy life, but then you also learned from that. You saw how we
here's the thing. This is episode 1. Her oldest daughter got married and moved away, so there's not really any like interaction.
Okay.
Wait, as far as like the getting the.
Do we actually see more of this daughter in the future?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Oh wow.
But so we don't know anything about that or anything. But the oldest son, who's local, just got married 6 months ago. So this whole in-law thing and having an adult child nearby that the younger ones can go to, that's new for everyone.
The thing he says though was what was it? I think we should have moved farther away. We're a bit
it was like a little joking matter, but I could also see that.
No, I get that. I totally yeah.
I love, but scratch everything. We just focus on Ethan and Olivia. I love their dynamic. They're so cute together. She was showing him like the new things of outside, just letting him experience stuff. He's just like he's so cute and
he's adorable.
He smiles so.
They seem very, very happy, don't they?
Yes. And like him just experiencing stuff, and she's just letting him learn things. If he doesn't like it, he's again. Also, when she took Mariah out, she's like, "If you don't like it, we don't have to get it. If you like this, we can get it. If you don't like it."
But the only problem I had with that is, at no point did the adults there say, I know this is for a work thing and you want to show your own sense of fashion, but is that something that mom and dad would approve of? Just as a question, just as to kind of be like, I am wanting her to see new things and experience new things, but at the same time, I need to be respectful that she is a minor. She
had to get permission to take her, right?
Yeah, the whole thing about
if she went over to her brother's house, parents don't know if they're taking her places.
Well,
they just think they're going to the brother's house.
Well, no, they knew that she was going out because she had to ask them. She even said she asked them. The whole thing about this is like, if it's for a work thing, it's for a work thing. This isn't something she's gonna be
but
wearing.
You can still have your morals and values and
this isn't something that she's gonna be wearing, just outside on the farm or thing. It's something before she wears for
Nothing she
work.
wore seemed.
It wasn't slutty. It
I'm
wasn't
talking.
inappropriate.
You're thinking of our point of view, okay? You, okay? I thought I was very conservative. Whenever you guys were growing up, we had that hard and fast rule about how long shorts had to be, and it had to be
There was no short shorts though, and there was no.
because we didn't buy them.
No, I mean for the girl, and she was wearing spaghetti straps.
Just wait. This is episode 1. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're really about you say you're focused on episode 1. You're not supposed to be doing anything.
Yes.
So episode 1, there was no sluttiness.
There's no issue.
I didn't
And
see.
I'm not saying anything about sluttiness. That's a whole different thing about from how you
But
look.
I also want to bring up, me and Mallow were on the side of the we thought the parents should have said no about California.
Why?
Because like
She's a minor.
She's a minor, and she has never been outside the state or anywhere else without a family member. And again, Livia's family, but again, like this is like California, not even just California, like this town in California.
I feel the wedding was like an hour or 2 away. I could see that for being the big first, trip. But California, all the way on the other side of the USA,
And the drug and human trafficking
it's fucking stupid.
it's actually a huge thing that there'd be an issue there. She is a young 16-year-old girl who's going to probably a big wedding that they can pay for the photographer and her assistant to fly there and come back. Why? I think they should have said no. I think they should let us give a few days to think about it and then said no. This guy, I like how Kim
But
didn't
didn't you
immediately
hear
say no.
Kim say if they told her no, she would find a way to do it anyway?
And if she did, she could call them for kidnapping.
Yeah,
She's a
call the
minor.
cops.
She's
She's
a
a minor. You're a parent.
I don't understand why they would just immediately say again. Like I get it for the show. It
Because
is for the show.
because also when you were that age, it was the same thing. We couldn't just say like with Lizard, no, this isn't a good idea and this is why. Okay? Because if I ever said no to anything other than financial reasons or, practicalities, it was because I was like, I don't think so. That does not sound like a safe thing to me, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Cry and whine and throw a
But
fit, but we're
you
teenagers.
would. Lizard would talk with us, and if she came around to see our way of thinking, if not, we would continue discussing.
Yeah, but they didn't even take like an hour for it. They were just like again. I think how Kim was talking to her through it. She's like, "Okay, where is it? What's going to happen? How are you gonna pay for it? What's going?" And she's like, "Oh, well, it's being paid for." I'm like, "That does not matter. Yours again." I went out of state without my parents and everyone, but it was for a school trip with a bunch of chaperones and a bunch of the kids where we were strictly supervised and in certain areas.
It was ROTC for anyone who was
It was
wondering.
ROTC, like again, like or band.
Let's be real. Any trip like that, there have been times where kids have gotten pregnant. Because you cannot watch that many teenagers all the time.
None of us got pregnant. No one had sex.
No, I'm not saying that. But you don't know if people had sex. You don't know. You weren't
They
one.
infiltrated those planes, the museum.
Stop. Anyway, I like your thoughts on that. But I keep thinking back to you, and I've had the more obedient, mature, reasonable. Okay, you were reasonable with us.
But seriously, if it's not just a trip to California, she has to go through airports, TSA, airports. Like this is not again like Barry. He went back in the 90s before 9/11, and I again like that changed.
Well, we
the
don't know
airport.
that. Or did he say it was only
1996, 1996.
Okay.
And then ever since 2011 or 2001, everything has changed.
So this is 3 years ago.
No. Ever since 2001 with
Oh,
9/11.
gotcha.
Not to mention, he even straight up says, "Oh, I remember it being a lot of drugs and a lot of homelessness." And I'm like thinking,
Stop.
and you thought of all of that and remembering it, and you decided to say, "Oh, as long as you do your homework."
Especially again, like even Kim admits that her and Olivia aren't on good terms. And if again, like if you said, if Olivia doesn't respect
But here's
boundaries,
the thing, though. Okay.
why would you send your 6-year-old child? Again, I don't.
To me, as a parent, again, that's the only way I can come at this, is that puts a lot of trust in your child and in Olivia. To me, that would be a sign of what. No, just wait. Obviously, I'm sure there's more conversations going on behind the
It's
scenes.
not
than
about
this is
trusting
one.
your child or live it. It's about other people. You know what I say? I trust you. Well, for Madeline driving, I trust you on the road. I don't trust other.
No.
drivers.
I'm just.
Not to mention the way Kim.
I'm just
talks.
pointing this out to keep in mind for the future. This would be the parents putting a lot of trust and faith in both of those women, or one girl and one woman, okay? that's not a small thing for a mom and a dad. That's as you guys said, I wouldn't let my kid go, but that is a huge, like, I'm putting my child in your hands, and that's how much I trust you, kind of thing. Just keep that in mind for the future.
The thing for me is, I don't feel like it's trust. I feel like it's just giving in because she says so many times she'll just figure out a way to do it anyway. She'll just do it whatever she
It's
wants.
not like
Why do you think? How do you think it was with you?
but she couldn't like do it until she was an adult.
I don't know.
And
He didn't know how to drive.
And Mal didn't really learn any lessons when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
No.
I had very severe crippling depression, everyone, so I was just
I feel like they're trying to put trust in her, but again, like they obviously don't really trust Olivia.
yeah, the way they shit talk her is just okay for a moment. Okay, if for them it's shit talking because they're always just like
Oh.
she causes
Problems.
issues.
Problems.
There's been a lot of tension. For them, it's
Anything.
snide remarks.
Also, Olivia does
Do
the
you
same
think that
thing
was
to them.
snide, or do you think that was just them trying to
They're on
be?
TV. It's snide remarks.
No, they're okay.
It's a little like
You guys look at some so negatively sometimes. It kills me. I don't know where you both. Well, yes, I do. The negativity, though, you have. That's what as young women, or young people, I apologize. I want you to try to learn a different perspective because
well, like we can see
sometimes
both
it's
sides.
so immediately negative.
Well, like
But anyway, what were you saying? The snide comments.
They're on TV.
they're not like snide. They're more like little like
Backhanded
the
comments.
thinly veiled. Like they obviously like to have like they're not like insults, but like obviously they don't really have a good opinion of Olivia very well.
Yeah. And if they're on TV and they're supposed to be on, this is before they're children. They're going to be, they're showing their lifestyle to everyone. They're not going to come off as negative. They're not going to give out their real feelings. So that's why they're like, yeah, since Olivia came around, there's been a lot of tension.
It's like the
A
sister
lot
wives.
of,
It's like the sister wives at the beginning to the end of like, oh, everything's great. It is
It
not
took the
great.
Sister Wives more than a decade to get this crazy, and it happens in less than 3 seasons.
Well, that's because like their kids weren't all sheltered though. Like they lived in Las Vegas before this. They weren't like
Not till the older ones were teenagers. They went from homeschooled, like these kids were, to being thrown into a public high school. And they only did that because Robin's kids had never been homeschooled and they went to public school, so they thought that all the kids should do it together as a sign of solidarity.
well, again,
those poor kids.
Yeah.
But not the point of like the actual family dynamics. I'm talking about like beginning seasons to the last season, like the mass fade. They thought they should
On everyone, yes. And it happens very, very quickly. And I think a lot of it is because I don't think the children know how to lie, really. They're all just, and then anything they say is kind of without any kind of malice or sarcasm or bad intent because they weren't raised with that. They were just raised to be like, this is the truth. This is what it
They
is.
have no social awareness, really.
They have no idea how to deal with people, anyone outside the family. They no.
We'll see. Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to remember that I only know episode 1.
Ethan picked up a mint at the boutique and was like, "Oh, sugar for a mint."
Yes, that is the one thing on episode 1 I
Crazy.
thought we should mention was the no, okay? No alcohol, obviously.
No sugar
No soda. No sugar besides honey,
or apple juice, apparently.
which is like the episode they get it natural or whatever. No TV or movies, and no internet unsupervised unless it's for education only. So I mean, some of these I say because like when you guys were little, I'm like I was trying to be the super awesome mom. You guys did not get a lot of sugar until you were a year old at your first birthday party, and you got your own little bitty baby cake. Yeah, you guys didn't get a lot of sugar. I didn't allow you to drink soda. You guys know that. And then you
We
went
just
to
allowed a lot of caffeine, which is why,
because you had really bad ADHD.
but it turns out the caffeine's actually how you treat ADHD.
No, you guys, when you were little, the sugar would send you.
So
I'm not talking about the caffeine, just any soda because it was the sugar.
And since we were, my mom was divorced, we always got all our kicks at
I need to think
sperm donors.
I already saw issues, even if I didn't hear some things what you said about later seasons, about the kids being on TV now. Especially with like Olivia, like trying to show her own husband about the actual world and different things, like just like movies, again, drinks, having a Coca-Cola for the first time. It's just like, again, those kids are gonna learn about it, and they're
How? I
and
don't watch TV.
because their brother's doing it, and they're gonna go to their brother's house because they're not gonna like. He lives like 10-15 minutes away. Even if they don't go to his house, they're gonna visit. Obviously, he's close to his family, and they're gonna be like, "Well, I want to try that too." And that's just a kid thing. It's not just a sheltered learning the outside world thing. It's a kid thing. I saw, again, Mallow was staying up to a certain time or be able to go out friends longer or have certain things. And I'm like, I want that. And I had, again, like, I had to wait. But also, like, Mallow would also sneak me things like, here, just a little sip.
I know.
This is a sibling child thing. It isn't just like, sheltered to outside world. It's just.
And that was me putting trust in Mallow with my minor child.
You shouldn't have.
Expecting that you would try to respect, the way we wanted her to live. And I know that you fucked that up a lot.
Yeah, look at her. She's got pronouns and dyed hair.
She keeps using her, so I'm like.
They've got dyed hair and pronouns.
I get confused.
I'm
I
actually trying
apologize.
to grow out my dyed hair to my natural hair color again, though.
Which is a whole story you guys can watch our other podcast for. Okay, this went a little bit long just because it's the first episode and there's so much going on.
Do we guys want to like read out our notes of what we wrote down?
That's way too much. But again, like our notes were kind of judgy of everything, but we were like, again, from the beginning to the end. This is the first episode. Again, this is the first episode. Our first
Never
view,
seen it before.
Our first view on all these people, this whole family, and we're like, again, it's weird. It's different from us, and we also think like we can already see the problems with the sheltering. That's gonna again like that would happen even if they didn't start getting outside influences now, but later. And I don't.
But okay, just think.
It's
you say it would matter to you if the parents learned from the older ones and changed.
I don't think they should change, but I think they should learn to accept that their kids are going to change.
Well, big spoiler, stop now if you don't want to know. Everything comes exactly like that. But that's a couple seasons down. Everybody's got a lot of growing to do, a lot of forgiving, a lot of accepting.
It's them realizing that they on a 55-acre farm, they do have leashes, again, like how they're raised, and that they're going to try to, snap off their leashes.
They're
gonna see the squirrels.
Tag. It may already exist, but hashtag free range children. All right, you guys, that's it for this episode 1.
Let's talk about how Kim said she heard the voice of God saying she was gonna marry Barry.
That's a big thing with religious people. That's not abnormal.
That's so weird though.
Because the sister wives say the exact
I'm
same thing
sorry.
about each other.
Lizard hears things and she takes medication. They take medication for
I
it.
think it's more religious. Like she had a dream of like, I like this guy, and
I feel like this is the one. Okay, guys, come back and see us really, really soon for episode 2. Welcome to Plathville. Bye.
Bye.